Ma'am, hello classmate, good day to all of you. This is Leah 4. Today we're going to report this with my partner Leo Tiaga. We are going to divide the topic, and for my topic is about the types of plans. So when we say plans, it's about the goals, planning, and about the setting to acquire a strategic plan or anything that contains a plan or any strategy to have a good outcome from the things that need to be achieved, or plan or program that need to be achieved. Planning has four main types, and they are: first is operational planning. So in operational planning, involves detailed short-term plans to execute on an organization's strategic objects. It focuses on day-to-day tasks and resources allocation and ensuring activities align with broader goals. So ang strategic plan na pod ani is about operational planning, which is kung naay operational planning, there could be a strategic plan. So when we say operational plan, it is about the day-to-day task, which focuses on the resource and ensuring the allocation and activities aligned with the broader goals. That is operational plan. Next one is strategic planning. So strategic planning is about the setting goals and outlining the actions to achieve them, and adapting to changing circumstances to ensure long-term success. For an organization, it includes assessing internal and external factors, defining the vision, and creating a roadmap for effective decision making. So ang strategic plan, it is the presence of the decisions, which is the process of selecting an organization goals and to determine the policies and programs necessary to achieve specific objects. So if you want to achieve something, if that things or that plan has been compromised, so you must have another way to strategize your plan, or in other words, you have a new way of plan. Tactical planning, it is characterized as a short term, and it involves the creating detailed plans to achieve a specific object. From the word short term, it often includes resource allocation, task assignment, adapting strategies to overcome immediate challenges. That is tactical plan. The next one is contingency planning. It is about the need for change arises during the occurrence of any unexpected circumstances. An example of this is the preparing for a large public event. The plan may involve assigning additional personnel, establishing communication channels with event organizers, outlining procedures, and also for the crowd control and emergency responses. This contingency may include scenarios like protest, accidents, or unexpected security threats with refined strategies to address each situation and maintain public safety. So let's move on to other types of plan. Aside from four major types of plan, here are also the three, which is the reactive plans. Reactive plans, it is the involves of responding to events or situations as they occur. It's based on adapting to changes and unforeseen circumstances rather than anticipating them in advance. Proactive plan. A proactive plan involves the taking initiative and planning ahead to prevent potential issues or capitalize on opportunities. It focuses on anticipating and addressing challenges before they arise. And lastly is visionary. Visionary plan, it is the future oriented and involves setting long-term goals based on a broader vision. It often includes innovative and forward-thinking strategies to shape a desired future outcome. So that is my report for today, and to continue the report, I'm requesting Mr. Leo Tiaga.
So, good afternoon. I'm your reporter, Tiaga Leopoldi, and we'll continue our report of Mr. Baliad, which is the major approaches in police planning. So, there are different kinds of major approaches when it comes to police planning. Number one, hypnotic approach. The hypnotic approach, also known as rational comprehensive planning, is a widely used method in planning particularly suitable for police agencies. It involves a problem-oriented process that focuses on identifying and analyzing issues. So this kind of approach, more more on unsa siya, this approach is more of they it analyzes some specific issues o ilang gina-identify, and then it also this approach also understands the problem and evaluating planning measures. And more on, they also create alternatives, implementing those alternatives, and monitoring, and they also monitor progress. So this is the traditional na ginagamit sa mga police agencies when it comes to planning uh, to, towards planning. Next one is transactive approach. Transactive approach Transactive approach to planning relies on direct communication and dialogue between planners and those affected by the plan. So ang transactive, muna siya ang kind of approach na within face-to-face interaction towards people. So kibali ang best example ani is uh, person to person, kanang open conversation towards individuals. So, kadalasan na siya magamit towards community, mayon ana. And the the transactive planning approach bases on the unsullied experience of people's lives, uncovering policies to be tended to. Not unlike sa traditional planning, transactive planning is not conducted from a distance but involves close contact with the people directly impacted by decisions. So, uh, unsa may nasa transactive approach, interpersonal discourse and common learning, a focal spotlight on the individual in hierarchical turn of events, incorporation of customary information, then planning is more an abstract undertaking than a ghost cycle. So, more on, kani siya nga plan, dili siya ingon nga nansa na recycle ba, not unlike sa kanang katong sa first approach tong hypnotic, kanang dili siya balik-balik ba nga muna to'y naandan ingon na dire kay abstract. So maybe pwede mag go with the flow, or ah, kung asa dalon ang inyong storya, asa maka-benefit, yan na. The third one is incremental approach. In- Incremental approach involves breaking down long-term planning into smaller. So, gikan pa lang diya nga phrase kay kung naay plano nga kanang long-term nga plans ba, this approach makes it more lesser. So, rather than taking a long-term planning, i-emphasize siya into making it into smaller plans. Kanang anong magkailangan pa ta magpaabot og nga na kataas nga proseso, pwede mo pud ta ato pagamyon nga nay mas maayo ana ingon ani kay daghan og pamaagi karon, uh, when it comes to ingani nga generation at internet at wala nang unsa mapangitaan og mas sayon nga pamaagi. So, a modest number of alternatives and results are considered at each phase of the dynamic cycle. Therefore, the expenses of planning are limited. The prompt impact is negligible and typically not problematic as each congression is proposing just a little change. And also, incremental approach is simple and adaptable. So, ingon ani lang, simple lang ang kaning incremental approach and adapt din siya. Dili lang siya sa tanan klase sa approach applicable gani siya. Next is advocacy approach. Advocacy approach prioritizes protecting the interest of vulnerable groups and addressing the unintended negative consequence of plants. It is often used in strong local communities, emphasizing natural causes, assisting poor, and expressing dissatisfaction with established business and government forces. So kani siya, mo ni siya og I'm on siya sa kanang ganing within kadalasan na siya magamit ning advocacy approach sa mga communities, mga businesses, governments. From the word itself, advocacy, na may ginasubay nga kanang advokasya. Uh, it says in the bullet form, ratings of public's mindfulness, method of participatory planning and drawing in with the more extensive local area. Allows planners to contend among themselves while speaking to the perspectives of their customers. So they will be able to gather the thoughts sa ilang mga customers or sa different kinds of different kinds of people when it comes to uh, advocacy approach. Raise the standard in nature of planning practices and results. Creating a climate that energizes uplifting perspectives towards helpful cooperation. Last but not the least, radical approach. Radical planning is a type of urban planning that aims for fair and community-based development. Di pa lang may bawaan na nimo. Di dili siya gusto og kanang gusto siya dili siya gusto og unfairness kaya ang gusto niya fair sa tanan and community-based ang development. So natay ginatawag nga two mainstreams within this approach. Uh, col- the first the first approach is to emphasize collecting actions to bring out the tangible results in the short term. The second is critical of large-scale social processes, examining how they shape social and economic life at all levels. So, ang first one is to makita na dapat ang results sa short term pa lang nga. Kanang ila na makita bang changes gani sa pagplano pa lang sa walgasugod sa primero pa lang nila nga unsa ba ginatake na nila ang plans makita na ang changes ba. So ang the critical of large scale social process kani siya they shape social and economic life at all levels. Naga-influence siya og structure and evolution sa mga social problems. The cycle of radical planning flows. Yan eh. Criticism of current request, the given practice for set up traditions. Creation of new information, elaboration of an elective position. So, elaboration of an elective proposition. So, og nay mo kontra ani ay sa planning ani radical planning ug dili gani mo agree ang tanan. So mag-elect I mean mag-voting sila or mag-elect sila ing ana ang unsa development of activities systems and strategies, dissemination of data discovering partners, clash conflict with the current request and organizations, expansion on account of achievement. And that's all of our report. Thank you.